Hi, this is Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today we're going to take a walk around the Lamar F8 series trailer. We call this the GF8 because it's got the gooseneck option to it. The 8 stands for the 8-inch I-beam frame. This is a 14,000 pound GVW. A trailer like this is going to weigh in at about 4,400 pounds, give or take, empty, depending on what Beavertail and what options. This one here is probably a hair less than that because it is a 22, not a 24. And then it's got the little bit lighter stand-up ramps, not the flip overs. So this here is probably more like 42. This is what we call our Econo gooseneck. Lamar actually doesn't recognize this as an option, but they have a standard, which we call the deluxe. It has a front toolbox and a spare. This here saves you a couple $100. Lose the toolbox, lose the spare. Very common trailer for us. The 8-inch I-beam frame is ideal for most users. We also carry this in a 12-inch beam, which is a lot more heavy duty, more designed for somebody using it every day and somebody that's really maximizing the payload on the trailer. This here trailer we've sold quite a few of, had great results, ideal for most customers. Let's take a walk around the trailer. We'll show you some of the standard features. On this trailer, we really don't have a whole lot by way of options. Everything you see here is pretty well standard. So up front, we got the Gooseneck Coupler. If you're not familiar with the gooseneck, it's got the spring open and close. This in here looks like it's a little rough yet, ain't been used much. You got your 2 adjuster nuts up front. Of course, you got 5 holes, so you got 4 different adjustments up front. Lamar uses a sealed cold weather Arctic cord standard. So not only is it sealed, but it's also a cold weather rated harness. Of course, you got your safety chains. Lamar uses an I-beam neck. So some manufacturers use a channel frame and a channel neck. This is I-beam all the way through. You actually see the neck gussets going from the vertical to the side rail and then going from the vertical to the horizontal. We like to see that because even though this is what we call our economy gooseneck deckover, certainly structurally pretty solid trailer overall. So your cheaper manufacturers a lot of times will take 2 pieces of channel in the back of the neck. They put 1 piece of channel on the neck and then give you those extra neck gussets. So we're very, very happy with how they do the neck system. Now again, as mentioned, this one here we've stripped the gooseneck toolbox and the spare out, and we can pass on about a $400 or $500 savings to the customer doing that. Trailer is powder coated. It's blasted, of course, first. Where they put the neck together, they do a gusset support there underneath. Dual jacks. If you're not familiar with the 12K jack, you got a greaser on for serviceability. If you need to, simple replacement of the guts. Bullet LED light, 3-year structural warranty. Got side steps on both sides. Now, one thing we like for the price point of this trailer, a lot of times you will not get a stake pocket, a rub rail, and a chain spool. A lot of times they'll leave this out. So pipe spool or chain spool just gives you additional tie downs. Again, trailers at this price point a lot of times don't give you a channel side rail. We've seen a lot of angle and even some flat stock. So as mentioned, the beam on this is an 8-inch I-beam frame. Now they used to do a 24-inch on center standard on this trailer. We used to upgrade ours, now 16-inch on center standard. Now please note too, that is structural channel, not a form channel underneath. Structural channel is of course structural, it's also going to weigh a little bit more. See there, Dexter brand axles are standard. They do the tread plate over the fender well areas. 235/80 R16 10-ply radial tire, load range E, standard equipment. Provider's the brand of the tire. We've had good luck. 9/16" studs instead of 1/2 inch. They go a little heavier there. Dexter brand axle means it's got the new forward adjust, or what they would refer to as never adjusting brakes. And then it's got the easy lube hubs. You'd peel that black cap off. There's a grease zerk there. You can service your own bearings. Trailer is a slipper spring suspension. You can see there it's got the grease zert on it, or what they would refer to as a wet bolt kit. Just makes that slipper spring suspension last even longer. So the Beavertail is a self-cleaning dovetail. It's again self-cleaning metal instead of a wood dovetail. And you can get this in a few different ramp configurations. We stock it in 3 different options. We do an 18+4 with what we refer to as a stand-up ramps. Now that one we did lay over. So you got a couple of different options. If you choose to lay it over, you can do that. You can use stand-up bars and make it stand up. Or we've got full width universal ramps as well. So normally on these with the stand-up ramps, we'll go a little bit shorter. The dovetail is 4 foot. Instead of on a flip over ramp, it'd be 5 foot. And then being that you don't waste the back end, which on this is not a flip over ramp, but it is flipped over right now. Those would have a 5-foot dove with a 5-foot ramp. So you got a foot longer on your Beavertail, and in a flip over ramp, you're essentially somewhat wasting the back 5 foot. This has a shorter Beavertail, a 4-foot. Reason for that, of course, is the ramp doesn't have to match the Beavertail in length because they don't pair up together. And with the stand-up ramps, you can go a little shorter. So we do an 18+4 stand-up and a 19+5 on the flip overs. And we do the 19+5 because Lamar only builds this trailer up to 24 foot in length. So again, self-cleaning dove. Lamar does a few things. One, they do an extra set of stop turn tails, and then they also do an unrequired but nice to have extra marker light on the side. They do spring assist on the ramp. On the knee support, they make it adjustable for you. And then also, we like this back bumper. That is fully enclosed tube, not a fab bumper, not a channel bumper, and not an angle bumper either. So again, at this price point, that's something that you wouldn't always see, so I wanted to point that out. Another feature that is becoming less and less common, it used to be on trailers, they would take the main frame all the way back to the tail. Now what most manufacturers are doing, they'll do an I-beam or a channel frame on one jig, a tail out of a fab steel on another, and then mate the two together. Lamar still does I-beam the whole way through, and then they also put a gusset plate, which you don't, again, see as much anymore. So build a quality product at a pretty reasonable mid-range price point. We're very satisfied, again, relatively speaking, for the money. We find these to be an excellent value. So again, we do them in an 18+4 stand-up, and then a 19+5 flip over, and a 19+5 with the full width universal ramps. Generally, we do the 18+4s in the black, and then we do the slightly more deluxe 19+5s in the charcoal powder coat. Is offered in a bumper pull and a goose, but you can also get these with an 8,000 pound axle upgrade, and then we also can go up to 30 foot on the triple axles. Something like this is going to have a legal payload in the 9,500 pound range plus tongue weight. Tongue weight on a goose like this is going to be about 22% or 3,000 pounds fully loaded. So your total net legal payload can approach 12,000 pounds, assuming you've got it all equaled out in your axles and whatnot. If you have any questions on this or any of our other trailers, give us a ring at 717-220-4220 or visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com.